Hey guys, hey Paladin here, and welcome to my season 2 finale um, comments for both Super Paladin Bros 3 on YouTube and also Super Paladin TV. Just kind of an amendment. Since I made this one on my Persona 4 video, I do want to kind of, express some thoughts of what I kind of like want my Facebook friends and also my followers as well. Um, Kind of some thoughts that I have for some people, and I just wanted to say that I am happy with all the support I've gotten from the last 2 years doing this show. This has not been a very easy trial to go through, especially um, going through lots of family issues and a lot of personal issues with my, from other people that have been, running up some interference in a way. And I'm not talking just physically, but also on an emotional and mental level because, I'm today I'm still dealing with a lot of things, and it's taken some. This is kind of difficult to be put into words, and some those of you who have followed me on Facebook has, and also that I've gotten to know in recent days, you know, and there's a reason why I act and say things the way I do, and this is kind of an unusual thing to talk about in it on a personal level, especially as being the host of the Pally show. Is well, one, a few things. One, I am autistic. I do fight. It's kind of on a low end of the spectrum, and I do deal with some problems associated with ADD and also autism, and it's something I don't like talking about. But at the same time, people ought to know that I do have my limits with some things in terms of my emotional health and stuff. And I just wanted to say, having to do a show like this is my way to stand up to it. It's my way of escaping the complications and the complications of going through autism. And I'm still sometimes I'm not always thinking straight, but people do tend to judge me about things like this. And it's kind of like, what do you know? What do you know about what I go through and stuff? And I don't like talk about personal issues very much because, well, some of you, especially on Facebook, know that some of you have been a very positive influence, but I do talk about my ex-girlfriend quite a bit, and one of the things that there is a big contrast between my ex and myself is that we both have gone through personal tragedies. And my issue with her is I feel like she has taken her personal tragedies for more towards the negative more than she has tried to help people with them. And I understand that she has the right to, be independent and all that, and live her own life and stuff like that. But at the same time, and this is where the contrast between her and I are quite different, is I view something like this. This is what I call a positive outlet, more or less. It's doing the Pally show as like a positive outlet of dealing with my personal tragedies that I've been through. And that's something that I've always frustrated. And I've mentioned her name. Her name was Carla. And one thing that she's driven me crazy about is how she's used her personal tragedy in such a negative way. And it's true that she could have not been so hard on me, and I could be not so prejudiced against her, but I live a completely different lifestyle than her. It may sound like more of a progressive one, but at the same time, it's my outlet of how I choose to live too. And it's just unfortunate that a near personal tragedy took place 3 years ago between her and I. And I nearly took my own life because, the way she expresses herself in such a negative manner was something that I did not need in my own life. Because it was more, the values that she and I possess are way different. And the way she channels her personal tragedy or herself in a way that I feel like it doesn't benefit anyone but herself, in a way. I mean, I respected her for the things that we did share, the values we did share. But at the same time, it's like, I come from a different background. My values are a bit different, and just like her, for her standing up for what she believes in, I would stand up for what I believe in too. And maybe I have a few fucks to give for for certain things, and I'm a person who cares about different things than her Britney. How she role models after Britney Spears, because for me, role modeling after that kind of celebrity, a celebrity that does not value the things I value, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately is because it is unfortunate. I value things and the things, platforms like this, as an outlet for my autism, as an outlet for my my ideals, and things like that we just couldn't share. And yes, I do have a personal prejudice, and I do against people with big egos. I have a personal prejudice against people who don't model myself after celebrities like her, what she believes in. And it's something I didn't need. The toxicity of that I could not build my life around that and such. And I can't build my ideals based on celebrities who expresses herself like that, but I build my personality for things that I find more productive, like save the environment, because I like the environment. I think we should have change, have a more fair system. But I just can't stand people who would intentionally put others against the wall and make them feel so uncomfortable where let's just say I wanted to take my own life because I believed in what I believed in. I believe in things that she doesn't believe in. And I praise her for standing up for what she believes in, but right now we live in a time, okay? We live in a time where, you know, one, we got this coronavirus, and there's a lot of people who are just being so selfish about not wearing a mask, and they should do it. And given that she used to be, I don't know if she's a nurse still or whatnot, she ought to know. Yeah, I feel like people who do not wear a mask doesn't help them out because they're the ones who actually, you know, where the people go who get sick, they go to them to get better. And now the people who are not doing their part to wear them, well, you know, I feel like they're just being bullies towards them because they don't want to not only take care of themselves, but they'll take care of worry about others, what they think about others. So it's not like I during my time, and I work in customer service, okay, and believe me, I know what it's like, and I've had to tell people put them on before. Now I don't do it, but my whole thoughts about people who don't wear a mask or people who don't make the choice to do their part, you know, I'm tired of babysitting them. I'm tired of babysitting people who just do not want to take care of themselves, who don't want to confront themselves. Okay? I'm done I'm done babysitting people in general. Okay? I am done babysitting people who can't lift themselves up. You cannot make the change for the better, unfortunately. It's all and they value the freedom of choice. Well, here's the thing about choice. And there are just some choices you're just going to have to say, I'm going to do my part until the situation changes. And right now, even people in my own country want to threaten my own life because I have a different point of view than they do on things. Now, whether Carla doesn't respect my point of view or not, that's irrelevant. The very fact that my life was in danger because of her, who, you know, would not respect my own autonomy, for one, well, you know, I am who I am by what I am. Okay? I'm a gamer. I do things like this. I play games. I support causes like for the environment, wildlife. I also, donate money to sometimes charity. I, like to recycle. I care about the environment. I like to, do one selfless act every now and then. It's not like I have too many friends or not, but I like to do things, that are fun. I like to, work hard at what I do. But at the same time, I'm one person who, it's true that I judge people, but I judge them by what they do. And there's two things I don't like. I don't like people who ask me for money, rather selfishly, because really, I am not exactly that rich of a person. I build my own fortunes, and I should make up my own mind who I should give my money to. I should never feel bullied about giving money away because, especially Facebook, some people on Facebook have pressured me for money, who asked me to do things that involve money. And I'm like, I've got to take care of myself too, you know. I got to pull myself up. I like to do things that better myself. And giving people money without selfishly giving money away just to without feeling that I'm being pressured to do so. Yeah, if you're pressuring me to give money away, then I'm not going to do it. And some people, even if it's coming, even if it's involving relationships, some people don't know, not, let's just put the words, they don't know how to support themselves, more or less. And I've had people that even Carla knew pressure me for money, try to extort money from me, and for stupid stuff. And I'm like, why? Why do you do this? And at one point, one said person I've had to remove from my life because it was one of her, Carla's neighbors. I had to stop her from demanding money from me. And I wasn't going to give her any more money. And on Facebook, there's just like a prolific amount of people who is trying to ask for money, like gift cards or, you know, these debit cards, prepaid debit cards. What are you doing this for? What's the whole purpose of doing this? They said it out of love, or you know, they should, you know, these pick women with good looks and makeup, and you know, you're trying to get my money that way just by it being beautiful. And I'm like, I'm trying to build a platform here. I'm trying to do stuff like this. Why should I give money when I'm trying to build a community such as this? This kind of community that I actually care about. And if you don't care for the community I like to support or the values I support, why should I be in love with you? You know? Why should I care about you if you don't even support the things I support? That's my question. I know this is not making sense of, you know, this whole thing about my ex-girlfriend and not, but if there was a Sophia Petrello, if you ever watched the Golden Girls, Sophia Petrello always tell these Sicilian stories. Well, here's one that I will tell you. Picture it. Township of Union, Wisconsin, June 2017. A gal was Anita picking up her friend in the city of Madison one that night because she was trying to get here from the state of Minnesota. And, you know, the gal was suffering from a major headache. So what did I do? I selflessly offered my services to drive her up there. During that car trip along U.S. Highway 14, that guy and gal who've known each other for almost 2 years, you know, well, held hands. For the first time, and for the first time that guy was trying to, you know, actually actively date her, was just being as modest he could be. Actually, you know, felt like he'd actually accomplished something that day. When she reached out for his hand, they both held hands for almost the entire car trip. So, but it wasn't that long after that moment, things started to fall apart between them. Well, because he started to feel that he was falling for the woman he actually loved. But at the same time, some other things started to pop up. The way, she started to act, and she started to say certain things that were, well, you wouldn't want to say in front of people in general. And yeah, he started to judge her, well, because he didn't approve of it. He didn't approve racial language. He didn't approve of anything that was said that was, meant to degrade other people, even though it wasn't directly towards another person. It was towards a cat. And that was enough to confirm his suspicions that she wasn't worth it. She wasn't worth, someone who always used the N word, because the guy would not tolerate that kind of racism. And 1 year later, that wall was enough to actually, became evident when that gal started dating another guy. And that quote-unquote boyfriend at the time threatened that guy. Well, the guy who was holding hands with her in that car was me, of course, and the gal was Carla. I mean, there was a deep emotional connection, but the other things were just unacceptable. The attitude was just sometimes anti-male, and sometimes racist, and sometimes it was all over the place. So being judgmental, well, became evident. And of course, I wouldn't tolerate racist talk whatsoever. But do I regret doing what I did, standing up to her and say, I don't tolerate stuff like that, Carla. I don't tolerate racial behavior. I don't tolerate people taking advantage of other people. I don't tolerate being sexist. It ain't right. So, my suggestion to all of you, it's also, I have the right to judge you, okay? I have the right to judge anyone, even though it may be inconvenient to you. But there's some things I will not do. There's some things I will not be taken advantage of ever again. I mean, if you say that you love me, say that you don't take advantage of me. I know when I'm being taken advantage of. I've got friends who give me money, well, because they actually like what I do here. This is something I like to do. This is a way of making money because it's something I like to do. And whether Carla wants to keep judging me, well, that's fine. I judge her. I mean, that's life. And I've had to put up with the same thing when I had to enforce the anti-mask or the mask rule, because I knew I was doing the right thing. I didn't care what people thought of what I did. I was doing my job. never really liked wearing a mask just because of this COVID, but I know I'm doing a service. Even though it's so annoying having to wear those masks, I still do what I have to do. And I'm not going to let my personal pride get in the way of right and wrong. I know there are times when it has to, but personal pride ain't going to tell me what I should. Is not going to kill me first. So, there's my story. I'm okay being without her. And I don't care. As much as I want to hope she's doing, wonder if she's doing well or not, that's irrelevant because, she obviously thinks I'm the enemy still, and that's fine. Because I probably will never see her again. But if she ever wants to talk, I'm always willing to listen. But just know that I'm not going to be racist. I'm not going to sell myself less than who I am. And if that's being judgmental, fine. Be that way. I wouldn't care. And that goes for every one of you who are my friends here on Facebook. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube. And whoever's watching this on, wherever you're watching this. I appreciate all people who's been there for me, but the real friends know I will do anything to stand up for myself too. And I hope people get that. And you hear this song in the background, life will change. And no matter how hard you try to stop it, life is going to change. And whenever I get to my Persona 5 playthrough, you will see why it will change. But some people think I base my values on video games too much. Well, that's true. I get that. But I'm not gonna waste my time anymore on what people think. One of these days, I'm gonna hold a charity marathon and I'm gonna raise money for the environment because I feel like I should help protect the environment, but there's some people who obviously don't want to. So say what you really want to say about me too, You be you. You be Carla wants to be her, that's fine. But I ain't gonna change for nobody. I'm not gonna change for anybody. I shouldn't have to change my values just to suit a stupid ideology, And there's some in my country, some people in my own country who would, legitimately kill me because I have my own twisted ideology. And, whatever. Then I welcome it. Because I'll die believing what I do. Thank you for watching us. I appreciate you guys watching this, understanding me, and understand that, despite my troubles, I still love every one of you. Just know that you don't put me in a position where I have to stand up for myself, because if you do, well, you know what's going to happen. You will hear from me. I don't want to have enemies, but, there are people out there who, they're going to have to suck it up and realize I'm not going to change for anybody. Thank you guys for watching. And Carla, I hope you live a happy life, whatever you believe in. But I'm not going to allow you to change me. I've set my own course. And whether I'm always open to talking with you again. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever. You know, I'm not going to be changed by you and your beliefs or your ideology or whatever. I don't care what you think of me anymore. Peace.